Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Changeling. We are here in the car with Allie. I believe she saved us. Maybe, I don't remember where we last left off. I think we're arguing with Spencer maybe? I glared at her. Want to talk about it? It's that stupid brownie. Do you know what it did today? Oh, okay, I remember. I suspect I'm about to find out. It filled his freaking shoes with mud, stole the keys, and left them outside. Oh, it also stole his other shoes because, hey, why not? Do you know who got blamed for it? Me, of course, but who else would Spencer blame? And all I can do every morning is try to defend myself on the basis that he hasn't caught me doing it because I can't tell him the truth. And what do you think he's going to believe? That some ghost is breaking him or that it's me? I hate fairies. I hate them. Well, you're sounding more and more like you and every day. I gave her an exasperated look. What is she bringing him up for? He's not a fan of the Fae either. But he is one. So are you. Debatable, if I recall, it's technically just the leading theory. I think it's a widely accepted theory by all the experts, if you know what I mean. Maybe. You and I need to sit down and have a talk. Well, honestly, it might help. If there's anyone who can understand what you're going through, it's probably him. In some ways, he's been in your shoes. He better not have been. There's no way those stupid boat-sized feet of his would fit. Allie just snickered. Glad to see you retain your sense of humor in spite of being more ticked off than I've seen you in a long time. I forgot how scary you are when you really lose it. Does it count as murder if you strangle a brownie? Probably, yeah. I'd still help you hide the body, though. Allie is that friend that you can't leave. You cannot let her go. Wouldn't be hard. It's small enough we could probably just feed it to Elliot's cat. Allie laughed, but the smile quickly faded. You sure you're okay? I'm just frustrated. I keep telling myself I shouldn't be mad at Spencer. He's just reacting to what's happening in the most logical way. But it's so hard to not want to slap the crap out of him when he's shouting at me and flinging accusations. Especially since I'm pretty sure I've worked out why the brownie's mad at him. And it's definitely his fault. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up, or keep this secret, Allie. Because if he keeps flipping out at me the way he did this morning, I'm going to just blurt it out at some point. Look, one more week, that's all I'm asking. Then I'll start tentatively poking around. If he's even the slightest bit sensitive, we'll pull him into the club, tell him everything. And you can let him and the brownie fight it out. In the meantime, maybe you can find a way to get it to forgive him for whatever he did. I'll definitely be looking into it. I can't take more of this. I'm really sorry you're having to deal with this sort of thing. It's not your fault. It's no one's fault. Normal people don't assume kicking over mushrooms is going to enrage the local brownie, and I'm sure that tormenting someone over mushrooms seems perfectly reasonable to a fairy. Being caught in the middle of it is not good for my sanity, though. I slumped back in the seat with a huff, but now that I got that rant out, I'm better. Somewhat. Good. I was kind of worried for a minute there. By the time Allie pulled into the school parking lot, there wasn't much time left before class. She had to run to the office to explain why she was late. I stopped by my locker to cool my head and get myself into a better mindset for school. A bell rang just as I made it to literature, and to my surprise, the class was much more active than usual. Students were roaming around, chatting loudly. What's going on? We have a new seating chart. Please find the desk with your name affixed. Oh my god, I'm assuming I'm gonna be sitting next to Danny, because that's the guy I went for, right? Oh, huh. Allie had mentioned that seating tended to change frequently. I shrugged and wandered around the empty desk until I found mine. I plopped down, dropped my things, and laid my head down. Someone tugged on the back of my hair, and I whirled around on my seat about to give someone a verbal lashing, only to find Elliot grinning at me. Wait, bitch, you tugged the back of my hair? Hey! Oh, hey! My annoyance immediately shriveled and died under the voice of his smile. It was usually impossible to stay annoyed at Elliot for long. His reading partner, however... Oh, it's Mark. Mark Louis? How do you pronounce that? I'm gonna say Louis? I guess. Was glaring at me over the top of the playbook he was pretending to read. Hello, sunshine. My mind has been too full of other things to really think about who my new reading partner was. I leaned across the checked name tag just as a familiar book bag dropped down to cover it up. It's our boy Danny. Looks like this is my new seat. Oh, I approve. Of course you would. He sat down and stretched out his legs, shooting me a grin. God, I hope he missed the little incident in front of the house this morning. Hopefully he'd already left for school by then. Alright, Alright, everyone settle down. Now that you've got all acquainted with your new partners, we're going to be moving on to a new play. One of my personal favorites, Much Ado About Nothing. Ado about nothing? Is that correct? What is with her in romantic comedies? I mean, romantic stuff is what she digs. I don't know. She didn't waste any time getting us started, giving us a brief background on the play before setting us loose on the first act. It wasn't bad. Danny was a fun reading partner, even if he stumbled over the lines occasionally, but at least he understood enough of what was going on to laugh at the banter. That said, the best part was listening to Elliot and Mark behind us. The hilarity of listening to them read a romantic comedy together gave me a much-needed laugh. I wonder that you will still be talking. Signor Benedict? Nobody marks you. What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living? I snickered quietly at the way he deadpanned the line. Danny looked over his shoulder, biting back a grin. Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence. These lines are terrible. What the heck is Signor? How do you even say that? And the rest of the line is that supposed to be innuendo? You're disgusting. And even I know what they're trying to say here. I covered my mouth with both hands, trying my best to keep laughing to a minimum. Danny leaned over to me, whispering, I had no idea Shakespeare could be this entertaining. Wait until they get to the part where those two characters fall in love. Hey, I heard that. As did I. I glanced over my shoulder, trying to keep the smile off my face. I was failing miserably. No, you guys are doing great. I mean, it is comedy after all. Danny snickered. And it's pronounced sort of like the word senior, Elliot, but with a heavier emphasis on the or part. It's Italian. Oh, thanks. No problem. After that, Danny and I spent the rest of the class reading and trying to keep the laughing at Elliot and Mark to a minimum. It definitely made up for the frustrating start to my day. I managed to ignore Spencer through trig and chemistry. Fortunately, he was doing the same. And by lunch, I'd mostly gotten my mind off the morning events. As usual, Elliot called me over to where he and Danny were as soon as I entered the cafeteria. Michiko, over here! He waved frantically as if I didn't already know where they sat every day. Their table was already full, but everyone made a space for me as soon as I walked up. None of them dressed anything like Elliot. Danny didn't even seem to think twice about their differences, and because of him, everyone else accepted Elliot too. And me, in spite of all the rumors those first few days. That's just the sort of person he is, I guess. Everyone around him always seemed to follow his lead. Chairs were shuffled, books were moved, and I took my unofficial spot by Danny. Not eating today? Forgot to pack my lunch or something? I looked toward the line and shook my head. I'm not hungry. They were having some kind of weird soup, and I was in the mood for their sandwiches or wilted salad. You sure? I can go get you something. Danny, you're too sweet. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Danny frowned. I really don't mind. Wait, did you get food yet? I smirked at him, stole his carrot stick from his lunch tray, and immediately popped it into my mouth. Okay, that answered my question. There, happy now? You can have them all if you want. I hate carrots. No! Danny and I looked over as a tower he'd been building out of crackers toppled over. Danny sighed and put a hand to his forehead. Are these people really high school seniors? Don't mock our tower building skills. Okay, you guys can see him now. I don't remember, was my camera always here or was it on the other side? I don't know, it's cameras everywhere. Hey, this is totally legit academia? We were doing the same thing in physics recently using paper and tape. You didn't make an F on that assignment, did you? I grinned as he shot me a mock glare and started rebuilding his creation. I'll have you know that I made a C. Look how tall mine is. He pointed rather proudly to a precarious-looking tower a few layers high. Yes, well done, James. I rolled my eyes but laughed at their antics. They were dorks, but at least they were lovable ones. Whoa! At that moment, someone bumped the table, sending crackers scattering everywhere and lunch trays sliding. Who the hell is that strong to make the table slide a little? I only just managed to catch Danny's water before it toppled on into my lap. Sorry about that. The table instantly silenced. It was the same two guys from the previous day, the ones that had called Danny away on our way to class. Shit, you guys are bad? I mean, I don't care too much for this guy over here, but this guy over here. They honestly looked harmless enough, but something about the way they were smiling seemed off. I mean, he's the only one smiling, this guy not really. That nudge to the table was definitely not an accident either, but why be a jerk about something as trivial as cracker towers? Seriously. Hey Dan, sorry to bother you again. We kind of need to talk. He stopped himself and quickly stood. Okay, great, come on. Danny's expression was grim as he followed the two guys out of the cafeteria. What's up with that? I glanced at Elliot questioningly. To my surprise, he looked pretty irritated, more so than I expected from a topple cracker tower. Those two again. Why does he always go with them? It looks like those guys weren't exactly on anyone's favorite person list. I glanced toward the door again. So who are they exactly? There's just a couple of idiots. Don't worry about them, Michiko. Idiots? That was a strong word coming from Elliot. He wasn't even openly hostile to Mark, who was a complete jerk to him most of the time. They showed up toward the middle of the school last year. I'd say right after Christmas break. They immediately started clinging to Danny for who knows what reason. I cast another sidelong look Elliot's way. Cryptics, maybe. I mean, they looked normal enough, and I'd never seen them anywhere near the club room, but I couldn't help but wonder. They've caused some trouble around the school, too. Really? What kind of trouble? Just fights with people, that kind of stuff. I don't think they're really bad guys necessarily, but their priorities are really messed up. I just wish they'd leave Danny alone. They've been worse ever since he quit the team, too. People are already saying stuff about that, considering the circumstances of him leaving. People need to mind their own business. The mood dampened around the table, and everyone was quiet after that. There was clearly some history there, unpleasant history at that, sorry. I was betting Elliot knew the full story, too. I wondered just what was going on. I had never really noticed them before yesterday, but it's not like I'd been spending a huge amount of time with Danny. Someone cleared their throat. Awkward attempt to break the silence and change the subject. So, Mozzie, are you coming to the Halloween party? Nah, I have to help Danny take care of something. Wait, Danny isn't coming either? What, he hadn't told you yet? I laughed as I watched Elliot flounder around and make excuses for the both of them, but I couldn't help but wonder if they had plans because of their internship with the agency. Allie had already mentioned some club members would be doing work for them on the night of Halloween. You two always abandon us. What are you even doing that's so important? Every year. We just help out around the neighborhood. It's volunteer work, okay? Community service. Michiko, you'll come, right? Just kind of short notice, isn't it? I doubt it, Cam. Mom will probably want me and Spencer home that night. What? You're not coming either? It do before? What? It's Brute. What? You think we aren't having some secret party without us, are you? Nah, just candy duty with my family. My mom really looks forward to it every year. You sure? Don't you three live next to each other? Suspicious. Totally suspicious. Come on, guys. He was trying to joke around with them, but I noticed he kept looking toward the door Danny had gone out. He looked worried about it, which made me even more curious. Just who were those two guys? I doubted he'd give me a straight answer if I asked, though. Especially not with everyone around. Danny didn't return for the rest of lunch, though. I really wonder who those guys are, though. Okay, we have time. I didn't have another class with Danny or Elliot for the rest of the day, so I didn't really get to ask about what happened. I was really curious, though. I wonder what Danny would be doing hanging around with two people who were alleged troublemakers. Maybe it was something to do with the peacekeeping around the school he mentioned? To be honest, neither time I saw him go off with them did he actually look like he wanted to. I shook my head and tried to push away the thoughts. It wasn't really my business, and I was probably way overthinking things anyway. Toward the end of the day, with my free period nearly over, I was planning to head to the club early. I just needed to drop some things at my locker. Maybe I'll stop by the cafeteria and get something to drink first before going up. Since I already knew I'd be spending an entire hour alone in the club room, I was determined to research the heck out of brownies. It wouldn't hurt to have something to stay hydrated. I ducked into the cafeteria to make a pit stop at the vending machines. The final bell rang as I was pulling the bottle of spring water from the machine. I decided to wait in the cafeteria for the crowd to die down a bit before going upstairs. Retreating to the far side of the cafeteria, I leaned against the windows and unscrewed the cap. Students poured out of the building and spread into the parking lot. There was one familiar figure in the crowd, an auburn-haired shorty that was stalking across the parking lot to our shared car. I rested my forehead against the glass, sighing softly as I watched him. Now that I had a full day to get over being mad at him, I just felt guilty. I really needed to learn to control my temper, no matter how frustrating he was. There was no way this kind of huge change wasn't going to come without frustrations. He certainly couldn't be expected to be rational and handle things calmly. That had never really been his forte anyway, which meant I need to do better at keeping my cool. And this is where we are going to stop for today. I really do feel for Spencer, but I also wish Spencer would understand me, but we can't really... like explain to him that a brownie is doing all this, because I told my brother. Well, my brother and I are cool. I think because we argued so much when we were younger, and now that we are moved away, have grown up for the past couple like 5 years without constantly being around each other, I think we love each other more. So if I talk to my brother about it now, he'll probably like, what does it look like? Draw it for me. But if we were in the situation with where my character and her brother Spencer are in a fragile state, if I told him about Brownie stealing his stuff, he's gonna be like, you're bullshitting me, stop. So it's gonna be quite hard. It's like he's a bomb waiting to blow up completely. He's starting to blow up a little, but it's not cool. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I still wonder